This is a story how Flatland has helped me realize that anything is possible.
Flatland can be found all around the planet. I saw his dedication to Flatland. He just wanted to give a good presentation of Flatland to everybody.
I have been given the opportunity to go all over the world. Japan, France, Canada, Mexico, and Amsterdam are some of the places that I've traveled to because of Flatland.
He's always ready to do shows. He's always ready to set up the photo shoot.
It's always just about producing a good photo, a cool new trick.
He's always ready to take Flatland where it's never been before.
My favorite things about shooting flat is you can take it to any place that's got a cool background and make it look good.
Sometimes I just get on my bike and remember why I started. It was about me pushing myself to do something that most people thought was impossible. What I have for Flatland is a passion. It runs in my veins and pumps through my heart, and that shows every time I ride.
Dreams don't count, do they?
They don't count.
Not unless you make it come true.
It's one thing to have a hobby and do it whenever you get the urge, but what I have for Flatland is a passion. It runs in my veins and pumps through my heart, and that shows every time I ride.
He's always ready to take Flatland where it's never been before.
There's a time in your career when nobody knows who the hell you are and you kind of got the underdog status thing. Cherish those moments, because once people know who you are, the expectations go way up.
And when you hear people say that Flatland's dead, then I'll look at somebody like Terry and go, no, it's not.
My name is Terry Adams. This video is about my life, my riding, and my career as a BMX Flatlander. As a kid, my dream was always to be a pro rider. After watching Flatland for the first time, I was hooked. As I stared at the riders, I felt like I was dreaming because the tricks they were doing just looked impossible. From that point on, all I wanted to do was learn as many tricks as I could. The more I rode, the more I fell in love with it. Flatland became an addiction to me. It's been the passion in my life for as long as I can remember. After a lot of riding and a lot of hard work, I now live my dream as a pro rider. Flatland has made me who I am today, and that is something that I'm very proud of. As I take you on my personal journey, open your mind and allow your dreams to become reality. To help Flatland grow, getting media coverage in magazines is very important. Being a professional rider, it's critical that my face shows up in as many magazines as possible.
Terry wanted the most epic photos you'd ever seen, and so me and him set out to just compile the most epic and amazing Flatland photos and unique Flatland photos that anybody had ever seen. One of the ideas I had for a photo was at the top of this abandoned building I knew of. We got up there and it was kind of difficult to show that we were actually on top of an abandoned building. So we kind of had to make do, but then Terry was like, I'm just gonna go right at the edge of this sucker. And he ended up, I don't even know what the trick was called, but his bike was hanging over this like 14-story building, you know, traffic passing under us. It was absolutely wild.
Well, you know, as a lot of people know, like photography is such a big part of BMX now anyway. So many people have taken it up, and there's so many good photographers. And to come up with an aesthetically pleasing shot, it makes all the sense in the world to me to shoot a flatland shot where the background in and of itself makes for a good shot, because then you can insert flatland into it. And whether or not somebody would normally be riding a flatland up on a mountain is beside the point. It gets exposure to flatland. It also puts a cool photo into the magazine.
After a while, I realized that Flatland had not been on the cover of Ride magazine for at least 10 years. I had a goal. I wanted to get that cover, not only for myself, but for the future of Flatland. It all started with an email to the head photographer of Ride magazine.
Hi, my name is Jeff Zielinski. I'm a staff photographer for Ride BMX magazine, and I'm here to shed some light on the Terry Adams Ride cover. About a month prior to the actual shoot, Terry sent me an email telling me that he had a new trick that was pretty wild, and he's like, you know, what do you think the odds are of getting a cover? And our usual policy is just like, well, we can never guarantee anything until we shoot the photos and see what happens. So regardless of that, anyway, I told him, yeah, well, you know, come out and we'll just shoot it and see what happens. You know, you never know where it may end up. On the day of the shoot, I went out a little earlier and did some location scouting, and I found the building that you see in the background, and I thought that would be a cool scene to shoot the photo. But the sidewalk is terrible. You know, it wasn't a very even surface, which is usually a prerequisite for flatland photos. But Terry always prevails in those circumstances. Terry showed me the move, Katrina, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow, that's pretty wild, you know, like if I can hold at my end and shoot a cool photo, this could end up being on the cover, you know. It was as good a time as any to get like a really progressive flatlander on the cover. BMX is composed mostly of other forms of riding as opposed to flatland, but you know, when something that great comes along, we're definitely going to recognize it. That was perfect.
That cover was really visually stimulating to me. Like, I looked at it multiple times during the day. I had it in front of my television on the coffee table. I saw it first thing when I woke up, you know. It was something that inspired me, deeper than the trick and the colors too, but you know, those were what grabbed me, and I think they would grab a newcomer too, someone that wasn't necessarily a flatlander. They would see that and be curious and want to be a part of it or get into it, you know.
When I got the magazine in the mail and saw the cover, I was so stoked because you hadn't seen flatland on a cover in ages.
As with any kind of professional sport, there's two sides to it. There's the actual activity, the sport itself, and also the business side of it. And Terry has shown like not only dedication in trying to do tricks and progress at riding, but also progress at the business side of it. He's always ready to do shows. He's always ready to set up the photo shoot or the video shoot. He's always ready to take flatland where it's never been before.
After I got the cover, it opened my eyes to so many things. I then realized I could do anything my mind could dream up. Anything I could dream up was destined to come true if I believed it could happen. The other cover I wanted to appear on was BMX Plus magazine. I wanted this cover to prove to everyone that flatland riding was still around and here to stay. I knew it was possible, so I started the process by calling Ben Crockett.
One of the most important aspects for a rider or a company is to get the cover. We get a lot of companies calling and going, what do we got to do to get the cover? And I tell them all the same thing. It can be the biggest company in the world, or it can be the smallest no-name rider in the world. It's always just about producing a good photo, a cool new trick. I want to do a cover because the image warrants the cover. It's an image, it's a cool photo that people look at it and makes them want to pick up the magazine. As an editor and a photographer, that's my job. I got to make people want to pick up that magazine. Terry called, said, you know, I want to shoot something, but we weren't going out to shoot for the cover. We were just going out to shoot a good photo. And so we drove all over the place trying to find anything. A cool wall, cool graffiti, cool landmark, a structure, anything that's kind of a cool backdrop, which is one of my favorite things about shooting flat, is you can take it to any place that's got a cool background and make it look good. The trick he was doing, he'd only pulled off once or twice, and after seeing him try it once, I knew it would definitely had some photo potential. When we went to shoot it, generally the hardest thing with flatland specifically, and most tricks in general, is catching the trick at peak action, which for this trick specifically, it was catching Terry when he was completely off the bike. His feet were off the bike, hands not quite grabbing the seat yet, and his other arm is thrown back, full extension. Getting that image, we shot this trick probably 50 times, and he crashed probably about 48 times. And the one time he stuck it was the one time we got perfect extension completely off the bike, which is really lucky, just catching it that split second, and that's all you can do, shoot a lot of photos and hope you catch the right one at the right time, and it worked out. So when we started building the cover, it was a really big issue for us because it had our Rider of the Year, buyer's guide, the beginning of our Olympic points chase coverage. So it was a really big issue for us, and I don't want to say it was a gamble because I was really into the image, but it was taking a reach. It was kind of getting outside of our comfort zone as far as street and dirt jumping covers, to do something different on an issue that has proven to be one of our top sellers. And ultimately, just by giving me a phone call, we went out and shot this in an afternoon. Took us about an hour and a half, and it ended up being one of our biggest sellers in recent history. Just blowing all of our other covers out of the water, which was awesome. Which was, you know, it was a great turnaround for us, and it was brought around by nothing more than calling up and saying, "Hey, let's go shoot a photo."
Like within the BMX industry, you know, Flatland is only like 5%. It's a small percentage of the whole industry. So it's not very often that you see Flatland in the media, and especially on the cover. To see Terry take it to that level, not just with like something that had already been done, you know. What I noticed was that he like had this goal, and he decided that he was going to do a new, innovative, creative trick that, you know, looked cool on the cover, and he accomplished that goal, and that's real motivating to me.
Terry's taken the Flatland world by storm. You know, you see him everywhere on adverts, on TV and stuff. Magazine coverage is awesome that somebody can contribute to the scene like that. We need more people like that that can share their passion and enthusiasm. Just share it with people. It's awesome. It probably inspires people to keep riding and progressing, which is exactly what you need.
Winning a competition is one thing, but being on the cover of a magazine, that's something that's timeless. People are never gonna forget that. Terry kept pushing me to try and get a cover on one of these magazines, because I think he really doesn't care who's on the cover. He just wants Flatland to grow, and whether it's him, it's me, whoever is on the cover, if Flatland's on there, that is good for Flatland.
To be able to put something into this small part of the industry and just give it a positive light, something that could attract other people to it, I think was really cool, man, and it's going to benefit Flatland, you know, in the long run.
Every time a Flatland image appears in a magazine or on a TV screen or every time somebody does a show or a performance or a contest goes down, it's going to help Flatland grow. And Terry has shown the utmost dedication and motivation to get Flatland as many places as possible.
Along with being in magazines, I've also had to learn to talk to the media in front of cameras at events and on television.
Okay, first of all, I want to know, what is flatland riding?
I think flatland riding is just doing what you want to do on a bike. There's no rules to it. There's just doing what you like doing and just having fun, just making the best of, whatever tricks you can make up in your head.
How many hours a day do you have to practice to do stuff like that?
Yeah. I myself ride anywhere between 3 to 5 hours a day.
Yeah! Being a professional athlete, it's very important that you sell your image to the public. Building a name for myself took many years of media coverage and interviews, but after a lot of hard work, I've built a name for myself in this industry. I'm very proud to be in the position that I'm in. I'm able to ride my bike and get paid for it. For me, this is a dream come true. Because of Flatland contests, I have been given the opportunity to go all over the world. Japan, France, Canada, Mexico, and Amsterdam are just some of the places I've traveled to because of Flatland.
Flatland freestyle is like a universal language where you can meet guys from other countries that you would never meet.
Flatland can be found like all around the planet.
To be involved in the sport today, no matter what discipline you ride, there's so many people that are good, there's so many contests, so much going on. The sport's as big and as good as it's ever been.
I have a lot of pressure on me because my sponsors need me to place well. The pressure is always intense because I'm competing against the best riders in the world.
Terry's a very hard guy to compete against in the way the battle format works these days.
I really think it helps really the competition to be good when we battle together, because the crowd, the rider, it gives the competition as another aspect.
The one thing that gets me pumped is the large crowds. I get excited because I know they are there to watch Flatland. Most of the time, I forget about the pressure and do what I love most. Ride and show as much emotion on the contest floor as I can. Sometimes I'm in the zone so much, all I can think about is pumping up the riders, the judges, and everyone around. I get lost in the noise of the crowd, and I just know that I'm going to pull my hardest tricks. Some of my greatest moments in life have been from being on the contest floor and doing what I love, riding Flatland.
Basically, Terry's one of the most dialed riders there is. Adaptability is one of Terry's strong points, I think, and also, that also goes with his combos, which is why I think it's hard for people to ride against him.
All the way, Terry Adams.
Believing in yourself is just as important as practicing for a contest. If you're not confident with yourself, you cannot expect to accomplish your goals. My goal has always been to win. I train very hard before every event. And for good reason. I need to be on the podium to prove to myself that I'm giving it everything I got.
There's a time in your career when nobody knows who the hell you are and you kind of got the underdog status thing. Cherish those moments, because once people know who you are, the expectations go way up.
It's not all about practicing for contests. I do love to go out and ride for the reasons that got me into Flatland. Sometimes I just get on my bike and remember why I started. It was about me being able to have an ability that not too many people had. It was about me pushing myself to do something that most people thought was impossible. When I was young and learned a new trick, I seriously felt like I had superpowers. I've been riding 13 years and I can still go out and get that feeling. It's one thing to have a hobby and do it whenever you get the urge, but what I have for Flatland is a passion. It runs in my veins and pumps through my heart, and that shows every time I ride. I got where I am today by chasing my childhood dreams. If I could give any advice to anyone in this lifetime, it would be to keep your dreams alive. So take what you love and make it your own. I hope you can use my story as motivation, and just remember, if you stay positive and believe in yourself, that anything is possible.
Dreams don't count, do they?
They don't count.
Unless you make it come true.